From Africa's economic powerhouse to a nation grappling with inflation, hunger and corruption. 64 years after independence in 1960, Nigeria lost at least $600 billion to corrupt officials. What went wrong? Discover the remarkable story of Nigeria's rise to wealth, influence and its shocking descent into chaos. From the booming oil years of General Yakubu Gowon to the turbulent reigns of General Sani Abacha, down to the current economic woes of the Tinubu administration. Get ready to uncover the intriguing tale of the rise and fall of an economic giant in the African continent. In 1914, Nigeria became a British colony with the Southern Nigeria Protectorate and the Northern Nigeria Protectorate being merged to form the Colony and Protectorate of Nigeria. The British ruled Nigeria until 1960, when the country gained independence. Sir Abubakar Tafawa Balewa became the first Nigeria's Prime Minister in 1960, after he played a key role in the country's transition to independence. Those were the most beautiful and most productive years of Nigeria's history. But Tafawa Balewa's leadership was short-lived by the country's first military coup on January 15, 1966, led by Kaduna Nzogo. The junta overthrew the government and resulted in the death of 22 people, including Prime Minister Tafawa Balewa, Sir Ahmadu Bello and Chief Samuel Ladoke Akintola. After the bloody military coup in January 1966, General Agui Ironsi seized power, but was later overthrown and assassinated in a counter-coup in July 1966. A young military officer from northern Nigeria, General Yakubu Gowon, took power after the counter-coup of 1966. He ruled for 8 years before being overthrown in 1975. Gowon's era was one of the most glorious years in the Nigerian economic history. The oil business was booming. During the Arab-Israeli War of October 1973, crude oil prices had risen. Nigeria became super rich, even among the developed nations. In the 1970s, the country's earnings from oil export was a modest $200 million. Between 1973 and 1978, Nigeria earned an overwhelming $32 billion, averaging over $5 billion per year. This rise in oil revenue led to a 100% salary rise for the civil servants under the Odoji Award, introduced by Gowon's military government, a scheme some economic experts faulted as a misplacement of priority. In 1975, General Murtala Muhammad led a coup against Gowon and initiated a return to a civilian rule, but was assassinated in February 1976. His ally, General Olusegun Obasanjo, succeeded Muhammad in 1976 and completed the transition to civilian rule, handing over power to Shehu Shagari. Shehu Shagari ruled between 1979 and 1983. He was Nigeria's first democratically elected president, but his tenure was marked by economic challenges. Shagari's tenure was characterized with allegations of financial crimes and mismanagement of public funds. In 1983, Major General Muhammadu Buhari wrestled power in a coup against Shagari, but was later overthrown. Buhari's 20-month rule was known for what he described as a war on indiscipline, a tough regime which some say was marked by human rights abuses. Buhari launched an anti-corruption campaign and jailed many prominent Nigerians. General Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida took over power after the coup against Buhari in 1985 and ruled for 8 years before being forced to step down. In 1993, General Sani Abacha seized power in a coup against the interim government and ruled until his death in 1998. Abacha is accused of looting public funds, running into billions of dollars. As at 2024, $4.4 billion were recovered from the funds believed to have been looted by the late military head of state, General Sani Abacha, but his family and former allies repeatedly denied that the late leader looted the money. General Abdusalami Abubakar succeeded Abacha in 1998 and oversaw the transition to civilian rule, handing over power to Olusegun Obasanjo. President Olusegun Obasanjo, who took over in a democratic process in 1999, played a key role in transitioning Nigeria to democracy and promoting economic growth. Obasanjo fell in his move to secure a third term in office. Allegations of corruption and mismanagement of public funds silenced the achievement of Obasanjo's government. Nigerians have indirectly accused Mr. Obasanjo of wasting 16 billion US dollars on power projects with nothing to show for it. President Umaru Musa Yar'Adua took over from 2007 to 2010. He focused on addressing the country's infrastructure challenges until his death. President Goodluck Jonathan served from 2010 to 2015. His government experienced one of the biggest security crises in Nigerian history, the Boko Haram insurgency in the northeast region. Jonathan's government implemented policies to promote economic growth and reduce corruption. President Muhammadu Buhari returned to the Aso Rock in a democratic process in 2015. He focused on addressing corruption, insecurity, and economic challenges. Buhari is known for his honesty and integrity. However, top officials of his government were investigated over allegations of corruption and financial crimes. One of the biggest scandals in the government of President Buhari was the 85 billion naira Nigeria Air project scandal. Now, President Bola Tinubu, the current Nigerian leader, took over from his ally Muhammadu Buhari in 2023. His tenure is focusing on promoting economic growth and national unity. But this comes amidst a strong petrol price war and worsening cost of living crisis, with a staggering inflation and hunger. Earlier this year, Tinubu suspended the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Betta Edu, over corruption allegations, and he is currently making moves to sack any underperforming minister in his cabinet. Now, who is your hero among these leaders? Do you believe Nigeria will be great again? Drop your comments. Thanks for watching The Context. I am Ibrahim Ismail. Happy Independence Day, Nigeria.